Hello. Good morning.
Right. Hi, we're here with the wonderful Pete, Echoist, Cavern,
Hello.
Brandings, whatever you want to go by. The most
Hey,
important question of this whole thing, to start us off, is how do you take your tea?
it's a very good question for a first interview question in the morning. A lot of sugar, a lot of milk, and I've actually just bought this breakfast. No, not breakfast tea. This biscuit tea for the first time, which is tea that tastes like it's already got a biscuit dunked in it. Which is
Yorkshire
kind
tea.
of Yorkshire tea. Yeah. Which is kind of a lie, but it's like a lie I can roll with. You know, it never beats the real thing, but it's okay. It's okay. So I'm trying that out. But as long as it's got a decent amount of sugar, I'm fine.
Milk before the tea bag or after the tea bag, though?
Oh, okay. Oh, we're starting this debate this early in the morning. Okay, let me talk to you about this. It goes tea bag, water, tea bag out, milk, sugar.
Yes, that is the correct way to make tea.
Is the correct way to do it. Yes, it is.
I'm a lie, I don't drink tea, so...
Well, I've got black coffee this morning because it's too early in the morning.
Oh, hardcore. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
I have
Like,
Coke.
I have a coffee machine literally like a centimetre to the right of me.
Nice.
I
That's
remember you texting
dangerous
me
to
that.
have.
I remember you texting me, like, I got a coffee machine for the long uni hours.
Oh, that's smart. It's dangerous, but smart.
It is very dangerous.
Mhm.
Okay, so we will do a brief introduction to Pete, various aspects, different things, starting with how do you think your parents would describe your job?
Loud.
Call the police comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. We've never had the police, but like there have been concerned neighbours. We've actually like, so I'm where I am for lockdown. We've got new neighbours, and I was recording some like vocals that were very loud, and I realised they had no idea that what I did for a living. So I was halfway through and realised I have to go and make sure they know that nobody is dying. So I went around and knocked on the door, and they were perfectly fine with it. But like my heart was beating so fast, where I had to go around and be like, "No one's dead. It's fine. I promise. It's all good. It's all good."
There was also
So-
on the stream when we had to tell you off for yelling "Call the police" during Life is Strange.
Yeah, I get impulsive, and like I have a very resonant voice. Like I get passionate when I play games, and like it's which is, you know, contrary to how I'm talking right now. Like, but I can get I get loud. That's how my parents would describe my job, loud.
On the note of stream, we figured we'd give an honorary mention to all the special friends inside your head. Can we meet some of them, please?
I like how I read this question and just like there's no context whatsoever.
No, that's why we expect you to give it.
I had no context last night either. Like, they were like, put down the special friends in his head, and I'm like, you gonna give me like anything else?
Okay, let me elaborate. So I grew up as an only child. I grew up with a very vivid imagination because I spent a lot of time alone. So when I just come up with different characters and stuff because I act as well and I voice act, and it's a habit and a skill I developed over the course of growing up. So I find it entertaining to just come up with different characters. And when I started Twitch streaming nearly a year ago now, which is crazy, just these different characters, these different sort of like archetypal characters started coming up, including there's Kyle Butcher, the American surfer dude from Venice Beach, who owns his own kombucha business. And he, you know, he kind of talks like this. What's up, dude? I'm Kyle. And we have, who else? We have Bryce William Chaddenson III, who's a very authoritarian character, has a big, like, girthy mustache. He's great. We have Brian, a complete conspiracy theorist, who's convinced that aliens are coming to affect him in some way. And there's a few others, but yeah, they're the main ones that pop up from time to time. It's fun. It's a party for everyone, honestly.
So we want to talk about all the creative directions that you're taking at the minute. So
all the creative directions, yeah.
The different outlets, platforms. So how did all the like self-discovery and honesty in all the work come about? And how has it influenced all the different things going on right now?
It's been a hell of a journey, I'll tell you that much. This, and I've said it before, is the most authentic I feel I've ever been to myself and to other people. Echoist began as giving a voice to the kid that I was that didn't have one. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't have the confidence, knowledge, words, like brain power, emotional capabilities to process when I was younger. And now, growing up, I'm realizing it's a very integral part of the healing process that I'm going through. Everyone heals from their stuff in a different way that needs to. And because I grew up with rock music and like heavier kind of music, and music in general being such a vital outlet for me, it just took its time working its way back to this and having this be my most suitable outlet for me, the most cathartic one. I mean, you listen to the song and like the new song Split and the previous song Speak, they're both very raw. This new one especially, and it's heavier vocals, it's very raw energy. There's just a lot of passion and torsion and like a lot of twisting and a lot of tension that's being released, and it's essentially scream therapy. Like it's musical therapy, it's scream therapy, it's all therapy in some way for me personally. And I'm really hoping that other people get like some kind of positive thing from it, whether they're blasting it in the car or whether they're just like got it on headphones or whether they're just reading the lyrics and they see themselves in it in some way, not necessarily in the same way that I saw myself, but they might read it and take something else from it. And it's not my job to tell people how to interpret songs, so I'm just hoping it goes that way. But in short, this whole self-discovery and this whole journey of gaining confidence in this and to be able to do this is just all part of the healing process that I feel like if I didn't do, I will regret strongly later on.
That's fair. I think like everyone can take something from the rawness of it. Like I definitely did with both songs. And I think that's really good that it can resonate that way. On that note, like, how did it feel to see the reaction on Twitch to both songs, actually, after so long and putting them out there?
I'm so nervous every time. Like, because it's literally, it's like opening up a bit of my soul every time. Because I can like perform and like be cool and chilled and relaxed and funny, and it's like it's all real, but the music is like, oh, it's the deep stuff. Okay. And I'm opening up a bit of my heart, I'm opening up a bit of my soul, and I'm showing it to people for the first time. And I was so, as well as much as I was nervous, I was also so comfortable with it, especially with the Twitch community that has been created since I've been doing this. For whether it be the music that I'm sharing, or whether it was, you know, something about myself, or whether other people are sharing things about themselves. It's such a nice, supportive community that it just felt okay. I would rather, it's the only place I can imagine playing my stuff for the first time at the moment, because it's such a good place it's such a safe place. I feel like we've created a safe space as that community for most things, within reason, obviously. Like there's boundaries and there's limits, and certain things that come along with a platform and a medium like that. But certainly for being able to wear my heart on my sleeve a bit with the music that I write, it just felt right. And it was awesome to see everybody in the chat and the comments like going crazy at it like that. Dude, I can't even imagine that feeling, because this song has been waiting for a year. So to see people finally listening to it is, it's fantastic. It's so good.
You kept us waiting long enough, so was it worth it?
Oh, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. Because I'm not in the business of putting anything out now that doesn't portray the message I want it to get across, or the expression I want it to get across in the right way. I'm not doing that anymore. So if it takes a little bit longer, then cool. Also, I can blame this entire lockdown. Like that's thrown a little bit of a spanner in the works. But a mix of a pandemic and emotion. That's it. But yeah, it's finally here and it's great.
Pandemic came along at like the right time to have an excuse to delay music.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it came along at the right time to have an existential crisis, but maybe it did.
I think we're all having an existential crisis at this point in time, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's exactly the reason I started Twitch. Like I know I've said it before, but it's so easy to feel alone, and I'm massively guilty of isolating myself, pandemic or no pandemic, of just shutting myself away. Sometimes it's necessary, and then I just get stuck in it. And I just get too comfortable there, and you just spiral down and down and down. And the reason I started Twitch is to provide a space just for people to go and hang out, to feel a little bit less alone, to feel like they can just hang out with people, just so there's something there that's like maybe a little bit more than just like a TV or a song in the background. There's something active going on, and there's life, and there's energy bustling there, and there's something going on that can bring your mind out of a potential like spiral, or just being in your thoughts where you just feel a bit disconnected from reality and everything. It can just hopefully help bring you back into that. I know it has for me, so hopefully it does that for other people as well.
No, your community definitely has brought like people together from all across the world, and that's something which I think you'll be quite happy about as well.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Some of the people that say the countries they're from in the chat and stuff, I never would have thought. I mean, we're at the point now where we're trying to get someone from every state in the stream, and we're like well over halfway there now, and it's, I don't know, like if I think about it too much, like I'll probably start freaking out a little bit, because it's so like grand if you think of the size of the world and all that kind of thing. But to hear like for example, there's like the crazy weather disaster that's going on in Texas at the moment, and to have people firsthand that are in like part of this community like speaking about how it's affected them and stuff. So you like it's such a connection that you feel like you have to the world, not just for me to other people, but for everyone. It makes you feel so much closer to everything, and like it makes the entire world a bit more real. With especially what's going on at the moment, makes you feel hopefully more connected to everybody, and to realize that as big as the world is, with the internet, with social media, it's just that little bit smaller now, because we can just connect like that, and we can sympathize and empathize with people just like that. It's not as disconnected anymore, and it's only going to carry on getting more like that. It's exciting. It's scary, but it's exciting to see what's going to happen.
So we want to talk about the newest single in a bit of depth, and the journey up to that, with you saying it's been a year coming.
Yeah.
Could you share a bit more of the process or the journey running up to it?
It was originally supposed to be, it wasn't the first song I wrote, it wasn't the first Echoist song I wrote, but it was one of the hooks that I came up with. The chorus was like one of the first things that I came up with, and it started developing its way into a song, and just through the world happening, through myself happening, and the journey that I was on, it didn't feel like it just didn't feel like the right time for me. It didn't, like, the song wasn't where I wanted it to be. The recipe didn't fit right, and so I'd kept coming back to it, and it was very odd coming back to it at different points throughout the year. It was the first demo that I showed anybody. It was like the first Echoist thing that I showed any of my friends, and it was basically the catalyst for me to just move forward with it, to go like, I can do this, but it's not the right time for you. Speaking about Split, and that's when Speak came out, and that felt like, for the time it was, and for the particular emotion I was feeling at that point, Speak was the right song to come out with for that. And now more time has passed, Split feels like the right time, and it just has arrived at its correct point in the journey. That sounds very sort of like abstract and a bit wishy-washy, but I don't really know how to explain it other than it just felt right to release it at this point. So here we are.
Here we are on Monday morning at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And I just actually, like, this is an interesting Monday morning for me, because I have literally at 20 minutes before this, I saw the music video for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Since filming it. So and I was just buzzing. I was so nervous to see it, because I'm used to doing everything myself. So seeing this for the first time after like putting it in the hands of somebody else, somebody who I trust, but just having to trust someone all the same, was very interesting. And I'm so happy. Dude, it's so cool. It's so cool, man.
You're at it again, just like teasing everyone with stuff.
I love it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Like yeah, it's bubbling. It's bubbling.
I know as a whole, same with the song, the community are really excited for it. So
yeah.
That makes me so happy.
There's
man.
just a buzz. You've just created a buzz. Like, we don't have a lot going on at the minute, the state of the world, and there's just this buzz, and it's so good to see.
It's and I'm feeling it exactly the same. Don't even worry. I'm right there with you. But I'm so happy that like you guys are excited about this. Like, you know, I'd be happy if one person was excited about this, or if one person gained something from it. So to have all of you guys like buzzing about it and giving me the reactions that you have is incredible. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for it.
Discord literally just pops off, Lucy, doesn't it? Like every time. Just gonna out you here, Lucy. Just the chaos that is your Discord.
Yeah. So
Discord's
I basically
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Discord is a crazy place.
I basically stole your community into mine, and we all just wild, and it's utter chaos.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Fair play.
People have made like good friends through your Twitch and your TikTok and YouTube and everything, and that's insane to us. Never mind what that must feel like for you.
It feels incredible. Even just hearing you say it like that, it feels incredible. And I attribute it to the way I grew up. I was the group I was part of at school. It was the people who wanted to be themselves and were kind of looking for a group, and they found it within this group of like, you can call them like misfits or outcasts and stuff, like people who didn't quite fit the mold. And we ended up, because we grew up in the countryside and there was nothing to do, we either just hung out and played music, or we just go sit in fields. And like, but there would always there'd be a group of us. Sometimes it'd be big, sometimes it'd be small, but there was no plan because there was nothing to do. So we would just hang out, and people would come and people would go, and sometimes you knew them and sometimes you didn't, or some people that you didn't know would bring new people along, and circles would just change and intersect, and you'd get this massive Venn diagram of people just hanging out and making friends with each other. And you know, then there'd be like the issues and the problems and blah 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 blah, blah like as you get growing up. But that mentality is so ingrained in my mind that that's naturally what I brought to Twitch. Like, I'm here and I'm just doing my thing because I want to, and then other people come, and then like they'll meet through this, and like then they'll start talking and find out they've got similar things in common. And like, although I may have been like the sort of like center post for it, like for people to congregate, like there's, you know, people have like so many different layers and stuff, and if they just connect on one thing, or they've experienced the same thing and they connect on that, like, it's fantastic. I love it. Twitch is an incredibly small world, and I love it so much.
But also, you've just said layers, and my brain's gone to Shrek, and this is entirely your fault. Can we talk about the whole Shrek thing? Because I don't even know how this happened.
Man, neither do I. Why? It's because Shrek is love and Shrek is life. That's why. But nothing more needs to be said on that. Like, that's it. That in that singular sentence, nothing more needs to be said.
I feel like that perfectly sums up the level of chaos that we create on Twitch with the whole community and everything going on. It's
I think so.
Chaos. Just, I wouldn't even say organized chaos. It's just straight chaos.
I try to organize it as best as I can. I try to like contain it as much as possible. But it's fun.
I don't think your community can be contained at this point.
No.
It's like self-sustaining entity.
Yeah, just.
That's what I get for encouraging people to be themselves. Like they are, and then it just brings a whole world of issues. But you know, I'd rather people have those issues from being themselves than from being something they're not. Do you know what I mean? So
that's definitely a good thing to have within a community, is everyone being honest with themselves and just not caring to an extent, like not worrying. I feel like it's definitely a good atmosphere to have, and you've done a really good job of creating that with everyone.
My whole ethos is as long as you're not hurting anybody else, not taking advantage of anybody else, then absolutely be yourself and be as weird as you like, and it doesn't matter in any sense. Because I don't think anyone's going to wake up with, like, at whatever age they're about to die at later on in life and go, do you know what? I'm glad I conformed to the mold. I'm glad I put my own feelings and my own imagination and my own creativity down, because, you know, I was accepted a little bit more by people who are also pushing down their creativity and their imagination and their sense of self. I'm glad that happened. I can't imagine anyone doing that. And if they are, fair enough, but I don't think that's happening, and I'm definitely not doing that. So, yeah, to reiterate, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, be as weird as you can like, dude.
Well, on my list, what we've got left to talk about is an album teaser, be like, as Lucy's request. Per Lucy's request.
No,
you about an album.
Okay, no, that was Sam as well.
Yeah.
Don't pin all of this on me.
Dude, can I talk about that for a second? Like, going back to the community thing, and then we'll talk about album and TikTok and stuff. But how encouraging people to be themselves and stuff has brought forward so much cool talent from everybody. Like, obviously, like Sam with her artwork, and that's sort of been like a very like cool point of focus recently, because she can capture the energy of like the community very, very well. But just the talents of different people in this community, and how much they're coming forward, and especially like emotional like talents as well, like I've seen of yourself, Lucy, and everybody else just being there for each other, and the advice that they can give, and wanting to be there for each other, and musical talents, streaming talents, just all these like this barrel of skill that's come out from people that they feel comfortable enough to share and stuff, and is supported and held up by everyone else in the community. It's just really, really nice, and I just wanted to give that a little nod in this interview.
I didn't know you were you. Wow, that sounds really bad.
Explain, because
I should probably explain that. That's like a really weird question to put out there. So, like, I didn't know you'd rebranded as like Echoist.
Right, okay.
And like the Discord were going off, and I'm like, what is going on? And then Lucy was like, here he is, and I'm like, wait, what? That's him?
I think you should be offended by that.
To be fair, I just don't pay attention to enough things.
You live in your life, man. Yes, that's fine. I'm not taking that personally at all.
I remember like the first Twitch stream where you announced it and everything, and everyone was like, wait, what? And everyone got quite confused.
But I like that was a specific choice I made, like throughout, like, you know, we were talking about this whole like the self-discovery thing, and it has to come with the confidence. It was a necessity for me to continue with that, like the growth of any kind of like self-worth or self-confidence, to make a choice where I go, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm not going to half-ass it. Like this isn't going to be like, oh, I'm sort of maybe doing this now, which I've done at a lot of other points in my life, because I've not had like the confidence to do it. Whether it's because it's been inauthentic, whether it's because it's like been something I've been worried about what people thought of me, or maybe I'm not going to be accepted, and now I don't fucking care. And it's great. It's the most liberating thing. It's taken me long enough to get here, but now I am here. Like, I've seen this music video for the first time, and I'm gone, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done, but I love it. And it's going to make people go, what's this? And I love that, because it means I'm doing something right. Like, I've always had it in here, and I've always had it like up here, but everything else that's been going on up here has made it go like, are you sure? I mean, I've been on the back foot about it, and now there's no more of that at all. I encourage everybody else to be the same. But everyone has to go through their own journey to get there. I've been through my journey to get here. I'm still on it. I'm not consistently like this. Like there's still doubt. I mean, I'm human, dude. But I'm no longer letting any anxiety or any like doubt get in my way. Like I'm still gonna do it regardless of how I feel about it, because now I know what I'm doing. I have trust in myself that I'm being real and authentic about it all. And like that is what later on in life I will look back on and go, fuck yeah, I did that. Fuck yeah, I hopefully helped people embrace that in themselves. I did it for myself. I did it for them. And good that people thought it was weird. Good. That's what I want. Because if everybody likes it, what's the fucking point? You know, it becomes ambiguous if it's something everybody likes, because people are different, and that's fucking wonderful. Sorry, I'm starting to get passionate. I'm swearing now. Am I allowed to swear?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, you're allowed to swear.
Why does everyone always ask me that? Like, they're like,
You never know. You never know.
You of all people should probably know that me and PG don't go well together.
same.
I know, but you know, I always like to check. I've been trying to be PG throughout this, and now when I start talking about things like when I start going down that road, I get really passionate about it, and I get excited. As a
That's fair. It's really good to see. Like,
Yeah.
it's good to see someone actually being excited and truly passionate about something.
Yeah, and I fuck with any artist, any person, musical or not, that is doing that and spreading that kind of message. And there seems to be more and more people doing it now, and it's really, really nice to see. But then you go back to like the punks of the London punks of the late 70s in London, and like they were doing exactly the same thing. It was like, yeah, it's fucking weird and we love it and it's great. I mean, I've got like first-hand experience, well, not first-hand experience, but like a first-hand account from my mum, who was one. Like she was a punk in the 70s, and she's instilled that into me. And like I had this whole barrel of other stuff, because we're onions, remember? We have layers. But once you start peeling back those layers and the right ones come forward, then like the authenticness and the passion and the real stuff can come through, and you can't mistake it when it's there. And that's what I'm getting now. People used to think I was on drugs when I was talking about this. When the Echoist stuff all started, they were worried. Like my mum was worried I was on drugs. My friends were worried I was on drugs. Because when I talk about it, my eyes were the size of the moon, and like I was just buzzing and I was shaking because I was so excited about it, because I spent so much of my life like just the opposite, just, you know, suffering with what I've suffered with, and not just being a shell of myself, really. And the more and more this has started happening, the more and more there's been just this fire inside of me that I've gone, oh, that's it, and that's what I'm holding on to. And that, because it stimulates the same kind of thing in your mind as like what drugs do. It's that excitement, and it's that like that rush that you get. That, if nothing else, that has told me I'm on the right path, regardless of what anyone says. That is what tells me I have to see this thing out 100%. So yeah.
that took a turn. So we were going to move on to like all the TikTok stuff, but on that note, I just want to bring up one more thing, and that is the live prospect for all of this, like a tour. And I know we're all hyped for it, so I'm assuming that's in the works and all this kind of stuff. Eventually, when it's safe, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
not
the
in
word.
the middle of a pandemic.
But 100%, I have grown up feeling so at home in the live music environment. I went to my first festival when I was 11. and like went to, like, I've just been going to gigs and festivals ever since. And just the release you get from it, just from jumping around and having that energy come off of you, whether it's positive energy or negative energy, like inside of you, when it comes out, it's just energy, because you're jumping around and you have all these people around you that are absorbing that energy and then and it's all just flying around, and it's such a release. And because I have a performing background, like I've been in bands since I was 13, I've done acting, I've done musical theatre, I've done everything. What I want to do more than anything is get on a stage and just bring that out of people, because I know how much it means to me. And if you go to a gig, you obviously want the same thing. Like, you want to experience like that release, that sense of community, that togetherness. And I want to do everything I can to let people just scream it out, scream as loud as they fucking can, jump around, and just feel something, and just leave that whole place just like, oh, thank fuck for that. That's what I want to give. So in answer to your question, 100% will this be going live.
That definitely makes me excited. I don't know how everyone else, but
Is it going to be a case of you meet at 6 and you just end up dragging me to like
yes.
a lot of shows, Lucy?
Yes. I've already convinced like 3 people to be dragged out on like the entire thing. We doing it.
I mean,
you're gonna be sick of us. We doing it, but
yeah, you meet at 6. Like, you know my impulse control after now going to 4 dates because of you.
I will do the same. Yeah. Right. So if we move on to all like, because there's the chaos, the scream, the full energy, but then there's the chill TikTok side of everything you're doing online at the minute, and the YouTube side of things. So we want to touch on that with how that started, what it's doing now.
I've spent a lot of my life having a lot of conversations between the hours of 2 and 6 in the morning, where most of the time people are sleeping, so you have to be quiet, and my voice is kind of low, and tends to travel through walls quite easily, and wake people up and annoy people. So over the years, I've just developed this kind of just this like chill way of talking, and I grew up wanting to help people. I grew up with this urge and this need to help people, and that, coupled with the voice, coupled with, you know, being on the internet for so long, has culminated in this weird dichotomy between me screaming my lungs out and then also being like, hey, how's it going? And just and providing a similar kind of release, but in just a way more chilled and relaxing way. Both are as like completely as real as each other. But the TikTok, I started my TikTok account as just like a place where no one knew me from anything. I never promoted it or anything. It was where I could just put any random idea that came to my head, and just a random explosion of energy that didn't need to be like scripted. It didn't need to be polished. It didn't need to be anything. It could just be very quick and throwaway. It didn't really need to matter. It didn't really need to matter. So by that same token, I had a random urge to do a video where I just got my phone up, put it in the mirror, and just went, I hope you're having a bad day. No, I didn't say I hope you're having a bad day.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? I said, I hope you're having a good day. And if you haven't had a good day, like if you've had a bad day, don't worry, it's just a day, and tomorrow will be another day. Days are days. It's fine. And people really liked it, and people seemed to get something from it. And so I started doing more and more. More and more people started to find it, and I had people asking me. I had like a lot of messages for people asking me to do longer form content of it. I like reading, so I put that all together and made a channel where I just read stuff and just talk about stuff to give people like a chilled, relaxing place to go. Again, it's that thing that you can either listen to it actively, or you can have it on in the background and just trying it off while you're going to sleep, or just trying to relax, or anything like that. I don't know. I try not to think too much about these kind of things. I'm just like, oh, it works, cool. Like, am I happy doing it? Yeah, cool. Do people get something from it? Yeah, wicked, cool. Then I'm just going to do it. You know, a much older version of me, not an age, isn't like a previous operating system of myself would have gone, oh, but you're doing heavy music, you can't do chilled stuff as well. And now I'm like, fuck that. Of course I can. Why not? Why can I not do that? Like, there's absolutely no reason other than some pre-formed brand image in my head. There's no reason I can't do both. And, you know, see what happens with the both of them. So that's why that's happening. And it's cool.
I feel like they're so different. They manage to fit so well together because they're so different. It's the opposites attracting thing. It fits really well.
It's weird, right? But again, not thinking about it too much and not questioning it too much.
Yeah.
I might dive into it like later on, but right now, if I think about it too much, and this is like kind of advice I always give myself, like if I think about it too much, it just ruins it, like, or it puts so many like spanners in the works. Like, I'm very much at a point in my life where I'm just like, just do, don't think too much, just do, and then just see what happens.
On the note of TikTok, we have to mention the one that kind of went pretty viral, the cheese and the nut, because that was an iconic moment.
Again, like, oh man. So that fascinates me. Like, I love it so much because that's how my mind works. Like it like that, those random thoughts do come into my mind of like it's okay, have some cheese, like it doesn't matter, it's so arbitrary, it doesn't matter. And like I can't explain it. I don't really want to explain it because it just fascinates me. It's like a unicorn. Like you see it and you accept it and you go, that's magical, and then you just let it go and it goes away. Or like the Northern Lights. I'm not comparing my TikToks to like one of the like wonders of the world at all. Maybe I am, who knows? But but it's that same kind of like, just accept it for what it is. Like, it's just a weird like glitch in nature that happens, and you just go with it. And if people get something out of it, great. I'm just gonna keep going with it.
I presume, Lucy, that's why we've got his voice for it on the board of progress, because I'm looking at the whiteboard and we've literally just got a note that says his voice. So I'm presuming you meant TikTok for that.
Yeah. To be fair, I helped you with that at like 4 a.m, so
yeah.
Who knows where my brain went. But
the whiteboard of progress for this was a mess.
Just like me.
Just like us all.
Yeah.
That's why we all resonate so well. We're all messed up, we're all weird, and it brings everyone together in the best way.
Exactly.
Rock and fucking roll, man. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not confused. I don't know.
Brain just looks like it's about to explode at any moment.
My brain's like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing.
That's like me all the time, but I just sort of smile and
you just make it look like you know what you're doing on the outside.
Yeah, and if I talk in this voice, like it just makes it sound like I know what I'm doing. So I can talk about cheese and nuts all day, but in my head I could be screaming. It's fine.
I've been trying to do that this entire time. Sound like I know what I'm doing. Sorted.
Fake it till you make it.
You're fine. Just go for it. Don't think, just do. It's fine.
That's something I've learned from you over the last bit. It's like, just don't think about shit. And it's good. Like,
yeah. It's very simple. It's not always easy, but it's very simple. And the same goes for a lot of stuff in life. Like, it's a lot of stuff is not always easy, but a lot of it is way more simple than we give it credit for. And once you start learning that lesson, you can't really unlearn it, and you just get better at it as time goes on. But it's never a linear thing either. Like, you're never just like, okay, I'm learning this lesson now, and it just, it's not this. It's like you're just sort of going all over the place, and it's this random scramble. And as long as you've got your eyes in the right direction, then you kind of find your way there. I hope. I don't know. I'm still here. Like, I'm still young. I'm still trying to figure it out. But like, my eyes are in this direction, and that's all I care about right now. I trust it. I've seen a glimpse of it, and that's all I need to just go in that direction. And I'm just trusting it. That's it.
right. I think we're near enough close to wrapping up. So shall we get the random bullshit out the way and then call it quits?
Oh, we finished with the last question and then do the quick fire.
Yes,
we wrote a last question for a reason, Lucy. Like, I've not put the effort into this for it to just not work.
Forgetting about plans.
Last question, me. Go for it.
The last question we really wanted to ask before the quick fire stuff is, if you could give one piece of advice for someone wanting to create, like, well, content in general, but specifically musical stuff, what would it be?
Oh. Don't think, just do is a good one. But also, there is such a focus these days of people doing it just to get numbers, likes, views, followers, subscriptions, especially now TikTok's a thing. And I will tell you, you can get them. However, they do not make you happy. What you would need to do, if you're going to do this at all and you want to do it properly, is do it because you want to do it. And do it, like, look inside yourself, figure out what it is inside you that you have to say, and then just start making it and don't think too much about it. And that may take a little longer, but it will have so much more foundation and so much more gravity to it that you will be way, way stronger in yourself when you do it. If you do just want to do it for the sole reason of like numbers and views and all that kind of thing, go ahead, do it, wicked. Just don't expect it to last. And don't expect to get them either, because if you're going to go and do that, then you're probably just doing what everyone else is doing. And a lot of people are also trying to do that. So you probably won't get very far. So you're way better off like figuring out what it is about you that is special, because everybody has something. I don't give a shit if people say there's nothing special about me. Yes, there is. No one's lived the life that you have. Figure it out, and take some time to look inside yourself and figure it out, and then just go and do it, and like figure out how creatively you is right for you to express that and what aligns with you in the best way, and then just go and do it. Don't worry about it all. And also treat yourself how like your best mate would treat you, like, or how you would treat your best mate, and be supportive of yourself in doing it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Yes.
That's literally how this podcast started though, Lucy, wasn't it? 'Cause I was like, what do I want to say on the internet? People just having a brew and bitching about life for 2 hours. Like, no one does that. That's what we need in life.
It's very simple. Yeah, just do stuff.
Everyone overcomplicates stuff. Now we're just like the basic essentials of life. Having a brew, like having a chat, because like a lot of people don't have it at the minute because of lockdown, and like bitch about life. That's just basic life essentials.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by doing stuff, you just figure out the magic of it. And then you grip onto it. Like you don't create magic up here. Like you create magic by getting stuff out and just putting it into the world and interacting with the fucking ether. Like that's how you do it, just by doing stuff. And if that is sitting and just having a brew for 2 hours and talking and just chatting breeze with each other for 2 hours, then that's exactly it. And there will be like little nuggets and little gems that come from that, and it'll be fucking beautiful. So yeah, I'm all for that, man. That's great.
Literally, like we're working this out as we go, aren't we, Lucy? We have no idea what
we
we're
have
doing.
no fucking clue.
Good. Work it out. Just and like I'm really glad you guys are just doing it.
Thank you for accepting, because we went into this like no one's gonna give 2 fucks, and then I just said it as a joke, and then I was like, wait, no, actually, I'll just stop and ask and whatever.
Yeah. One, like who fucking cares if no one gives a shit? Like you're doing it because you want to do it. Like 2, always just ask why. Like why not? Like like there's no bad that can come from it. And 3, there's always a 3. What's the 3? The 3 is just have a good time when you're doing it. Like I've enjoyed myself this morning. Like it's fun. It's a morning.
Wow.
Like it's an hour, and it's like it's fun. Like you guys are nice. You guys do what you want to do, and like it's like nice to hang out with you.
I'm surprised you put up with me for this long.
I'm approaching my limit. I'm not gonna lie.
Rude. That feeling is mutual. That's not just you.
I'm kidding. No, I like it's. Anytime I'm hanging out with people who are just doing stuff for like the sake of doing it because they want to and because they're passionate about just doing stuff, I'm good, man. Like that's my home. That's what I want to be doing. So like it's cool.
Now the quick fire stuff has all come from Lucy's Discord, so it's a bit messy.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Like we've got the notes and it's a mess.
It's literal, yeah.
Literal mess.
I also put this out at like midnight last night, so everyone was already a bit delirious.
Yeah, most of these came at like 1 a.m.
I'm so concerned and excited about it at the same time. So
The fact that you're concerned says a lot about the faith you have in the like people that support you.
let's do
Yeah.
it.
First one, concerts. Do you prefer bigger venues or smaller venues?
Smaller venues.
Always the right answer. Snails or caterpillars?
Caterpillars.
Potatoes, mashed or fried?
Mashed.
Ketchup or mayo?
Ketchup.
Your favourite kitchen appliance?
A saucepan. I don't know. No, toaster.
I was expecting microwave, but
Same.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, microwave. Yeah, go on then.
Guitar or piano?
Ooh, guitar.
Regina or Katie?
Caddy.
Beach or forest?
Forest.
Cadbury or Galaxy?
Or Cadbury.
Fire or water?
Fire.
Crepes or American fluffy pancakes?
American fluffy pancakes.
And lastly, you can thank Lucy for this one. Chip or Dale?
Chip. Good.
Oh,
Solid.
dear.
Well done.
you've got all the right answers as well.
That was like as chaotic as we expected it to be.
I was confident with my answers there. I was good. Yeah. See, this is what comes with like going on a journey of self-discovery. You're good. You make choices and you're confident with your answers. Like, yes, Cadbury over Galaxy. Yes.
Everyone was also concerned about the milk first in tea or after, so I'm glad we got that out of the way first. the correct way to make a cup of tea? That was
Yeah,
like
so
a big discussion.
Yeah,
point
that
last
came
night,
up a
wasn't it, Lucy?
lot.
Yeah.
It's always after. It's always after. I don't trust people who do it before.
Same.
No, I don't